Can anyone remember? We did employee well-being. Did we finish it or not? Yes. Did we finish or not? I asked somebody to keep the slide number. Yes, Chetani? Can you remember? Fatima?
Sir, we finished the slides.
Uh-huh.
We finished the slides, sir.
We finished the slides. Right. Then, did you get the today's lecture? Did you get the handouts? Uh-huh. Did you get the handouts? Today's one? Darshana? Himali? Did you get the handouts?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Anyway, then I have to now upload. Wait. I thought should wait. Did you get it now? Did you get now? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Did you get the handouts? Yes or no?
Sir, did you share it in the chat box?
No. LMS.
Yes, sir, it's there.
Ah,
Yes, sir, it's there.
right. Okay. Can you see the handouts now? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the handouts?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Now today is, I think, one before last week. We have only this week and next week. So most probably this can be the last topic. No, we'll see. Right. Today's topic is leadership for managing changes. Right. Now, OD, we discuss organizational development, basically to achieve organizational goals and objectives, you have to develop first people, groups, and overall organization. So you have to develop. Develop means change. Now today we are discussing to achieve organization goals and objectives, you have to change the necessary changes to the organization. Otherwise, it is very difficult to develop people, groups, and organizations. So, leadership for managing changes. Right. Right. Enabling factors for successful changes. So, what are the factors determine the success of change program? Leadership, the capacity of leader, capability of leader, and organizational culture. Right? So good leadership, capacity of leader, capabilities of leader, and the organizational culture. Right. For manage change, power of the for manage change, power of the change agent is very important. Power of different groups play an very important role. So therefore, now when we want to do some changes, why leadership is important? When you try to change something, why leadership become a very important factor? Chanaka, when you try to do some changes, why leadership is more important? Yes. Why? Chaitanya? Why leadership become crucial factor?
Yeah, the leader can be a role model for the change.
I
And
can hear you clearly. Loudly.
the leader can act as a role model of the change. With the change of the leader, the other followers will be following the leader.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. Why now? Why we want leadership for change? Yes, Niroga. Why we want leadership? Yes, Senivaratna, yes.
Sir, leaders are normally resist to change. So it is, people are normally resist to change.
That's why you need leadership. People don't like changes. Therefore, it is very difficult to change. That's why you need leadership. If all people are willing to change, no problem. No need of leadership. But every time when you try to change something, majority of people resist for that. They don't like changes. This is the factor of assume. In Sri Lanka, if we try to now don't take seriously, right? Don't take seriously. There are no politics. Don't take seriously. Now suppose government want to stop free education. Now that's a change. If I ask from you, Chanak, do you like? Do you like? Now, how many of you like that? As government try to stop free education. Now that's a change. How many of you like? How many of you support that change? Raise your hand. Only one. Only one. So that means others are, they don't like. Now this is, I just asked it. Not, I don't know whether the government is going to change or not. But I just asked. Now that means majority of people don't like, they want to maintain it. But if the government seriously want to change that, then leadership play an important role, right? So that's why when you try to introduce some changes, right, leadership become very important because majority people resist for change, right? Can you explain these two lines? There are two lines. Can anyone explain? Every leader is a manager. Every manager is not a leader. Yes? Can anyone explain that? Yes? Himali?
So I think every leader should have the managerial skills, especially managing the talents of the people or managing the perceptions or the attitude of the people, the team. So if the managerial skills should be there in a good leader. But we find sometimes certain managers who do not have leadership qualities with them. So I think in a way this is correct because not every manager is a leader.
Yes. So therefore, every leader is a manager. Every manager is not a leader. So there can be managers, but without leadership. Without leadership qualities, right? So that's why some managers become failures. Right. Management is doing things right. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Right? Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right thing. Now, according to Warren, this is the definition. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Right? Right. So what do you mean by leadership? What do you mean by leadership? Yes. What do you mean by leadership? Anyone? Yes.
So that is an ability that an individual is having to do some influences, motivation, or enable to contribute to the organization success.
Yes. I think last week I showed you one picture, no? One small video. Yes or no? Last week did I show you some small video?
No, sir.
Uh-huh.
No, sir.
No? I see. Wait. Can you see this? Can you see this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right.
चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले सुबह निकाला करे हथेलियों में भरे धूप को छोड़ा करे ओ सुबह निकाला करे हथेलियों में भरे धूप को छोड़ा करे ऊपर पे पाँव रखो और चलो करके चलो ऊपर पे पाँव रखो और चलो पकड़ के चलो अलग पकड़ के उठो और हवा पकड़ के चलो अलग पकड़ के उठो और हवा पकड़ के चलो चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले हिंदुस्तान चले
Yes. What happened? Yes, what happened?
Initiative taken by small child, sir.
Be the change.
Yes. Earlier, the all big people didn't take any action. But the small boy took some action. So finally, everybody helped, and finally, they were able to remove the tree. So that's a leadership. So that means small child was able to influence or change other people's behavior. Now that's the leadership. Now leadership is not going to parliament or anything, right? Even become president, no. Anybody can become a leader. Anybody can become a leader, but main thing is he should be able to influence others' behavior. So that's the leadership, nothing else, right? Agreed or any comments? Chanaka, agreed or any comments? Himali, agreed?
Agreed, sir.
Even you can become a leader. Only thing you must be able to change others' behavior. So that's we call leadership, right? Right. So leader is a person who influences the people or the group toward achieving of goals. That, according to that video, that's what happened. Small child was able to influence the people or the group toward achieving of goals. So that's the leader. Leadership is influencing others to achieve certain aims or objectives. Effective leadership skill can help managers carry out their duties. So therefore, leadership is very important in change management.
Sir,
Right.
excuse me.
Yes.
Presentation is not appear on the screen, sir.
Okay.
PowerPoint presentation is not appear on the screen, sir. Please
Wait.
share.
Wait. Now?
Okay, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
So, leader is a person who influences the people or the group toward achieving of goal. So, management is the process of setting objectives and making the most efficient use of financial, human, and physical resources to achieve this objective. Now, there is nothing called leadership. So, management is a process of setting objectives and making the most efficient use of financial, human, and physical resources to achieve these objectives. So management accomplishes of work through effort of other people. So managing a process of change in an organization can be highly complex task and is often essential for effective organizational development. So that means the organizational change, although organization change is difficult, it is very important part of organizational development. So without change, you can't expect effective organizational development, right? So what are the focus for changes? Structure, technology, people, task. Sometimes we have to change the structure. Sometimes we have to change the technology. Sometimes we have to change the people. Sometimes we have to change the task. So these are the focus area for changes. So rational approach for change is now the argument is change equal dissatisfaction, change model, process and resistance. Right? So according to this one, so there are 4 factors. Dissatisfaction, change model or vision, change process, resistance to change. So these 4 factors are there. So finally, final change will determine by these 4 factors. Right. First one is dissatisfaction. So followers' emotions are fuel for change, and change often requires considerable amount of fuel. So that means now without followers' support, it is very difficult to change. So that's why followers' emotions become a fuel for change. Right? So it is very important. So therefore, the key for leadership practitioners is to increase dissatisfaction to the point where followers are inclined to take action, but not so much that they decide to leave the organization. So now that's why you need very strong leadership. Because if people refuse or reluctant or resist for changes, it is very difficult to change. So that's why leadership become very crucial in change program. So there are different models for change, but whatever the models, these are the major 4 components. First one is scanning the environment to identify the need for change. Now, without need for change, very difficult to get people's support. So you have to identify the need for change. Then second step is, right, if you want to change, what is the new vision? So you must have a new vision. Right? New vision. So first you have to scan the environment and develop the vision, then identify the change areas and set new goals. So those are the important things. For an example, first question I asked, no politics, nothing. I just asked to give you some understanding. Do you think country, now what is the country situation? First, environmental scanning. What is the country situation? Country is developing, stagnating or declining. Yes, Chamara, country is developing, stagnating or declining. Chanaka, Chetani, Randa, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Niloka, what is your opinion? Country is developing, stagnating or
Stagnating, sir.
declining?
Stagnating, sir.
Stagnating. Himali, Countries developing, stagnating, or declining?
So I think slight development can be seen only in certain sectors or certain levels, social layers, but overall it's stagnant.
Right. So that means when you scan the environment, situation is not good. It is bad. So therefore, you think there is a need for change, right? So need for change. There is a need for change. Countries not developing, stagnating, and many parts declining. Not a bangkodottu. Think bangkodottu. I think there is a need for. There are so many needs for change, right? Then first thing is you must have a new vision. අපි වෙනස් කරනවා නම් කොහාටද යන්නේ? කොතනටද යන්නේ අද? What is our target? The country should be changed, right? Up to which level? So that's a vision. Right? What is your target? Are we going to change this country like India? Are we going to change this country like Bangladesh? Are we going to change this country like Papua New Guinea? I don't know. So some kind of, right, we are going to achieve this kind of status. So that's your vision. Then identify the areas for change. Which area you want to change, whether it is education, whether it is economics, I don't know. So we have to think about what is the area we want to change. Then based on that, we must set new goals. So that is the basic steps in change model. Any questions? Any questions? No. Right. Then we come to process. Now, second part is the process. Now, there are 4 parts, no? Change, right? Model, process, resistance. Right, what is process? So, what is the process of change? Development and execution of the change plan. So, if you want to change, then you must prepare a plan. It's called change plan. Right? So preparation of plan is not enough. So you have to implement that plan. Right? So that's the process. Now, do we have a plan now? Himali, now you mentioned, yes, country is stagnating. There is a need for change. Do we have a plan for change or not?
No, sir.
Then process is not there. This is the problem. Right? We all talk about we want change, we want change, we want change. But no, there is no plan for change. Now, in plan, we must have a target. We must have responsibilities, right? So many things, mechanism, how we are going to implement the change. So various things you have to plan. Without that, you can't do an effective development or change. Right. Then resistance. Why people resist for change? Yes, why people resist for change? There can be so many reasons. Why? Tell me 1 or 2 things. Why people resist for change?
People's more like to be in the comfort zone rather than due to the change, they may be going to the discomfort zone. So they want not to be happen. So most of them like to be in the comfort zone. That's why they are fear and they are very lazy to change rather than going change in the system. What system will be changed if the process will be changed. Because of that, they do not like to change. And same time, their mentality is also adjust to the current situation. Because of that, they do not want to get more risk also.
Good, good, good. Others?
So since they don't have required skills, knowledge,
Yes, yes.
uh, since they don't have required skills, knowledge for the plan change, and
For what?
they might,
For what they want skills and knowledge? For what?
for example, if we are going to change the systems, they need skills and knowledge.
So that means to face skills and knowledge to face the new situation. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now,
Yes, sir.
after change, there will be a new situation. Now, if you don't have a skills to face that situation, then you may resist. Right?
Yes.
So likewise, there
Yeah.
are so many reasons. Some people have a fear. They will lose something. Some people have a fear. They may say, right, they have some kind of unknown fear. Ayyo, right? So, for an example, you take AI, artificial intelligence. Do you think is it a good change? Introducing artificial intelligence is good or bad? Yes, Niluka?
Good, sir. Good. It's a good thing.
Chanaka introducing artificial intelligence, good or bad?
Good thing, sir.
Good. Himali?
It's good, sir. As AI is a tool, I think it depends on the person who is using it. If you have good purpose, and that could be a good thing. If you have bad purpose, then it could end up in bad situation. So it's basically a tool that we can be very careful when we are using it.
Tenivaratna? Is it good or bad?
It has good and bad things, sir.
Good and bad. Good and bad, right? Others?
Advantages is it can a lot of advantages because we have do a lot of things fast than human nature, but it create bad effect to human brains. We are not think so much, and we use AI we use AI and not thinking so much like as now we are not use calculator previously, but now even students use calculator in exam. That's it.
Others? Any comments on AI? Do you like or not? Right. If you ask from me, so what is your opinion? So I am this way. Short term, yes, good. Long term, very bad. So that's my personal opinion. Short term, yes, good. Long term, very bad. Long term, very, very bad. So there can be very serious effect on human life. So therefore, generally, I am on a negative side, resisting side. Yes. Right. Anyway. So, so there is a process. You must plan and you implement. Right. Next one, resistance. Right. People resist because of various fear of loss, fear of power, fear of losing relationship, fear of losing rewards, no competencies, you may lose your identity. So likewise, there are so many reasons. So people may resist for any change, right? Everybody is subject to some issue. By any change, everybody is subject to some issues. මොනවා කළත් කාට හරි පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් හරි තියෙනවා. So that's why people resist for change, right? So therefore, you need a leadership to manage this resistance to change. So there are two types of leadership approaches: charismatic leadership and transformational leadership. Can anyone define this charismatic and transformational leadership? These are two types of leadership: charismatic and transformational leadership. Yes, anyone? Right. Charismatic leadership is a leadership based on the leader's ability to communicate and behave in a ways that reach followers on a basic emotional way to inspire and motivate. So that's we call charismatic leadership. Can anyone give good example? Can anyone give good example for charismatic leadership? Yes.
So especially in UK in the late 90s, when Princess Diana came into more into humanitarian propagandas, it was worldly accepted that she has a charismatic leadership because that basically came not with her academic knowledge or something like that, but that came with her personality and her ability to connect with people, the interpersonal relationships that she had with the others. So she was regarded as one of the charismatic leaders.
Yes, yes. Any other example?
So Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
As a Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, you can see, I mentioned many names, right? Now there can be a complicated or confusion between transformational leader and charismatic leader, right? Now, charismatic leaders are able to use their personal charm to get things done. This can be an extremely powerful way to lead others. In fact, such strong charismatic influence can be achieved over followers. that these leaders can make certain individual accomplish some pretty fantastically task. So as I think somebody mentioned, a good example is Mahatma Gandhi. When you look at Mahatma Gandhi physically, he's not a very attractive person, or very strong person, right? When you compare with other leaders. But Mahatma Gandhi, there's a large number of followers because based on his principles, Mahatma Gandhi's principles. So many people follow Mahatma Gandhi because of his principles. So that's how Mahatma Gandhi became a charismatic leader. Right? Now, transformational leader, changing situation for better, developing followers into leaders, overhauling organization to provide new direction. I think somebody mentioned two names. One is, I think, about South African, whose name I think Himali or somebody mentioned.
Sir, Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Now, Nelson Mandela is belong to transformational leaders, right? Even now, even Singapore, Lee Kuan. So he also transformational leader, right? To change a situation for better, developing followers into leaders. Now the difference is he encouraged other people to take the leadership. Overhauling organization provide new direction. Inspiring people by providing energizing vision and high ideal for ethical conduct. So transformational leader and charismatic leadership both are very important in change program. Even especially in organization, you need some kind of transformational and charismatic leaders. Now see qualities of transformational leaders. Identify themselves as change agents. They are courageous. They believe in people. They are value driven. They are lifelong leaders. They have ability to deal with complexity, ambiguity, and uncertainty. They are visionary, right? So these are some qualities of transformational leaders. Here, like my earlier one, here also, can anyone read this one? Can anyone read this slide and explain? Yes? Niloka? Can you read this slide and explain? Himali? Janaka?
All
Yes?
transformational leaders are charismatic, but not all charismatic leaders are transformational.
So that means like all managers, all leaders are managers, but all managers are not leaders. The same way,
Yes, sir.
all transformational leaders are charismatic. but not all charismatic leaders are transformational. So sometimes charismatic leadership is important, but they don't have leading qualities, right? He, as a person, he can give a leadership, but other qualities may not be there. So that's why we call all transformation leaders are charismatic. But not all charismatic leaders are transformation. So therefore, more important is what? Charismatic or transformation? More important is what? Charismatic or transformation?
Transformational.
Yes, transformational is the most important. Right. So there are two types of leaders, existing leaders, transactional leaders and transformational leaders. Who are transactional leaders? What do you mean by transactional leader? Yes. Transactional leader and transformational leader. What's the difference between those two? I think you have done leadership for your program, right? In your program, you have done leadership. So what is the difference between transactional and transformational? Yes, transactional leadership and transformational leadership. Yes, yes. Anyone?
Transactional leaders, actually they exhibit their leadership qualities with the expectation of gaining something.
Transactional leaders?
Transactional, so that's the definition was given for the transactional leader. By expecting in return, they expect something and they exhibit their leadership qualities.
Transformational?
Transformational, as you taught earlier, sir, to develop their followers to be leaders and to create a better position for the followers. They use their leadership qualities.
Yes, yes, yes. Anyone else?
The transactional leadership, they are based on they will give the rewards and the punishment for the followers, and they set clear expectation and provide rewards for the meeting them or consequences for the failing them to do so. And transformational leadership, they mainly focus to inspire and the motivating followers to achieve their fullest potential.
Yes, others.
So I think the main difference, I agree with Nishanta. As far as I get it, the main difference is transformation means it's providing, influencing, motivating, and transactional, that means either way, it's more like exchanging. I think that is the main difference between transformational and transaction.
Yes, yes. Now, in generally, transactional leader, he try to do the existing things in a better way, right? He don't want to change anything, but he try to do the existing things in a better way, right? මේ තියෙන දෙයක් වඩා හොඳින් කරන්න try කරනවා. ඒක තමයි transactional. Transformational leader, he try to change. Now, that's the basic difference, right? That's the basic difference. Now, transactional is He don't want to basically change. He want to do the things in a better way. Things in a better way. දැන් ලංකාවේ ඉන්න කවුද? ලංකාවේ transactional, transformational, නැත්නම් charisma. Yes, in Sri Lanka, more charismatic, transactional, or transformational. Yes, yes. In Sri
So I
Lanka,
think most of the leaders are charismatic. They come
charismatic.
they come with lot of glory and spotlight and charisma. And once that vibe is gone, they have nothing to give. So they have no leadership qualities. So that's why most of the leaders in the country come and go.
Others agree with.
I agree with what she said, sir. They came with glory and highlighting certain qualities in their personality, and after some time, they will disappear. So, the most of the leaders are charismatic leaders.
Yes, now Sri Lanka, unique thing is there is no leadership. In Sri Lanka, there is no leadership. Sri Lanka, there are leaders, right? We depend on people, not their work or activity. We depend on people, unique qualities, right? Not the policies or activities. We normally based on person, right? Like අපිට තියෙන්නේ එහෙමනේ. අපිට තියෙන්නේ එහෙමයි. සේනානායක period. බණ්ඩාරනායක period. සිරිමා period. Premadasa period. JR period. All are personal and person based. අපි ඡන්දේ දීලා තියෙන පුද්ගලයන්ටනේ, not the policies. So in Sri Lanka, charismatic is very powerful. Charisma qualities. අපි බලන්නේ මිනිහා හොඳයිද කියලා. මිනිහා හොඳයිද. අපි එහෙම ඊට පස්සේ තමයි කියන්නේ අයියෝ අපි රැවටුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ policies වලට නෙමෙයි මිනිස්සුන්ට රැවටුණා. So we depend on charisma. We depend on charisma, right? Not the transformational qualities. We depend on charismatic qualities. And same time, most of the Sri Lankan leaders are transactional leaders, not transformational leaders. අපි ඉතින් හැමදාම දෙනවනේ නිකන් දෙනවා. අපි දෙන එක හොඳට දෙන්න. නම මාරු කරලා හොඳට දෙනවා. අපි එහෙමනේ කරන්නේ. නම මාරු කරලා හොඳට දෙනවා. වැඩිපුර දෙනවා. Transactional leaders, not transformational leader. කවුරුවත් දෙනේව නැවැත්තුවේ නැහැ. හැමෝම දෙනවා. ඒ දෙන එක හොඳට දෙනවා. Right? අපි ඉතින් එහෙම තමයි පටන් ගන්නේ. දැන් තාම කරන්නේ එහෙම තමයි. I'm not I don't have any politics. So what we generally, if you look at the things, we do better way. So like that means better thing. ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වේ ඉතින් නිකන් හාල් දෙනවා කියලා. සේරු දෙකක්. ඊට පස්සේ එක වැඩි කරා. හරි එහෙම ඇවිල්ලා අටයි නිකන් දෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ජන සවිය, ඊට පස්සේ ස්මාගන, right? So we try to do the same thing in a better way. Same thing in a better way, not the change. So therefore, we have a charismatic and transactional leaders, not transformational leader. After transformational leaders like transactional leaders, contingent rewards, contract the exchange of reward for effort, promises reward. අපි හුඟක් පොරොන්දු දෙනවා. අරක දෙනවා මේක දෙනවා කියලා අපි ගොඩාක් promise වෙනවා. Promises for good performance, recognizes accomplishment. So management by exception, watch and search for deviation from rules and standard, take corrective action. Right? So therefore, we belong to transactional leadership leaders. Transformational leaders are a little bit different. So charisma also they define as a one transactional leader type. So inspiration, intellectual stimulation, individual consideration. So we had charisma and individual consideration, right? And contingent rewards. So therefore, we are not belong to transformational, we belong to transactional and charisma. So transformational leaders are a bit different. Anyway, now leadership and organizational development, when you look at these things, we discussed that we want individual change, team change, and organizational change. So therefore, even to change individual, even to change groups, and even to change organizations, you need good leadership. Without that, very difficult. Right? Right. Change management activities. So these are the effective change management activities. Motivating changes, creating visions, developing political support, managing the transitions, and sustaining momentums. So these are the change management, effective change management activities. Any questions? Any questions? Yes. No questions. Right. Core task of leaders: embodying the mission and representing the organization. I mean, මේක තමයි අපේ leaders ලට නැත්තේ. No vision, no mission. Vision එකකුත් නැහැ, mission එකකුත්. No vision, no mission. So therefore, first one is lacking part in our leaders. Strategic planning. Strategic planning also not there. We just prepare a plan, not strategic plan. Then developing organizations and developing learning organizations. So these are the core tasks of leaders. Core task of leaders. That means he is not going to change. He try to develop other people to take the leadership and implement the changes. Right? So that's the effective leadership. But in Sri Lanka, one person tried, everyone, right? One person tried to change. He's not involving others. He just asks, follow me. Just ask, follow me, right? Follow my changes. He want to give the leadership for others. But according to the theory, core task of leaders is organizational development and developing learning organizations. That means let others to introduce changes, implement changes, right? You just guide them. You just guide them. So embody and represent. So those we call embody the mission and representing the organization, right? Embodying and representing. What do you mean by embody and represent? Embody the mission. Explain the mission to new employees. Explain the mission to the public. Represent means participate in intra-organizational meetings. Make speeches to the public. Now those are the things come under embody and represent. I think you may have a lot of questions to ask under these two. Yes. Questions? Himali, no questions. Niluka, no questions. Nishant, no questions. Now, as I mentioned, first thing, explain the mission to employees. In our organization, do they explain the mission to employees or not? Even as a country, as the organization, the important thing is no mission. No vision, no mission. No very clear vision, no mission. So therefore, embodying parties not there. Then represent the organization. Participate intra-organizational meeting. So you must take the part in the change process. You must be there, right? So you should actively participate. So that's the meaning of represent the organization. So you must actively participate. So these are sometimes lacking part in Sri Lankan organizations. Then strategic planning. Now we call three things now. Embodying the mission and represent the organization. Second one, strategic plan. So I think I have talked to this one with you. Why we want strategic planning? Yes. Why we want strategic planning? Yes. Now, earlier we talked human resource management, marketing management, financial management, but planning. But today we talk about everything: strategic marketing, strategic HR, strategic planning. So why strategic? Yes.
So,
yeah.
The planning it's a long-term planning to achieve organizational missions, vision and mission. So targeting those things, targeting areas, the disciplines in finance, marketing, HR, and all. The final objective, the final aim should be achieving the organizational mission. So it's a long
Anyone else? Anyone else can try? Why we won't talk about strategy? Not just marketing, HR. We want strategic. Why?
Sir, strategic means it's a high level of interventions in planning process. So whatever the things what we are doing, it is directly impact towards the strategic level uh, in aligning to the organization objectives and their missions and organization goals. So ultimate impact towards about achieving organization objectives and goals. That is why it is mean that
Still something is lacking. Still something is lacking. Can anyone fill the gap? Why we won't talk about strategy?
so the business organizations need strategies, especially to gain competitive advantages. Organizations need strategies in competitive advantages. So to gain the competitive advantages.
What advantages?
Competitive advantages, sir.
That's the word. That's the word. Now today we are in a very different world, different environment, right? Politically, economically, there is a very high competition, very high competition. Now, under this competitive environment, we want to talk strategies. Otherwise, we can't survive or win. Now, whatever we do, whatever as a country we are going to change, that affect the India, that affect the China, that affect the America. So they always concerned about our changes. මොනවද කරන්න යන්නේ මේ මිනිස්සු කියලා හොයලා බලන්න. Because political environment is very competitive. On the other hand, if you take economic side, there's big competition. So whatever we do, right, we have to talk about strategies. So therefore, even to change organization, when you try to change organization, you must talk about strategies, because there are so many things in the competitive world. So we want to get the competitive advantage. So without that, very difficult to introduce effective change. Effective change, right? Right. Then we come to, right, so under strategic planning, formulate mission, policies, plans, identify customers and their needs, reflect on big picture, consider societal trends, examine core functions, speculate on long-term goals, identify resources and opportunities. So when you talk about strategic plan, team building and conflict management. Now, because now we mentioned that when you try to do some changes, there may be large number of people who resist the change. So therefore, you have to handle these people. So therefore, you have to develop supporting teams for your change program. When you try to introduce changes, there can be conflicts. So you must have a conflict management activities. Then accent research and employee involvement. Try to involve people, employees as much as possible into organizational development activities. Then consultation on processes. Participate management, get involved, right? Give employees to manage the change program. Then job enrichment and job redesign as part of OD changing program. Good example. I will tell you one or two examples. Then, right, Godak organizations were peers line are they? Is there any person called peon in organization? Is there any person called clerk? Himali? In modern day?
No, sir.
No. That's the job enrichment and job redesign. Now that's also organizational change. You, right, without doing some harmful things to others, you change the process. Now who do the peons work and clerks work? ඇත්තටම කවුද කරන්නේ ඒවා? දැන් කරන්නේ කවුද? හිමාලි දැන් ඒව නෑ කිව්වනේ. කවුද ඒව කරන්නේ දැන්?
So private institutes වල නම් ඉතින් තමම තමයි කරගන්න ඕනේ. But
that means ඒකට පොඩි වචනයක් දාලා මැනේජර්ස්ලා තමයි දැන් මේ වැඩ දෙකක් කරන්නේ. හරි? දැන් මැනේජර්ස්ලාට තේරුම් නැති වුණාට තමන් පියන් කියලා පියන් වැඩේ කරන්නේ තමන් තමයි. ක්ලාක් වැඩේ කරන්නේ තමන් තමයි. හැබැයි ඒකට පොසිටිව් ටර්ම් එකක් දාන්න. වෙන ටර්ම් එකක් දාලා නිකන් පොඩි. Now that's the change. That's the change. Right? එහෙම එකක් කරා. හරි? Now ඉතින් අපි ඒකට දැම්මා ඉතින් පොඩි ඉන්ක්‍රිමන්ට් එකක් දාලා ජොබ් එක රීඩිසයින් කරලා then even now in public sector they call management no clerks, they are called කළමනාකරණ සහායක, management assistants are there. Now all are managers now, even PN is a manager now, clerk also manager now, right? Now that's a change, slight different change, right? Without the කාටවත් තේරෙන්නේ නැති වෙන හිමින් එක කරායි. Right? So that's called job enrichment and job. Now that has become now part of your job. ඒක job එකේ part එකක් කරා. Right. Anyway, right? So that's a development. Right? That's a development. දැන් අපි ඉස්සර කිව්වනේ දැන් අර පොත අයින් කරලා you fingerprint එක ගෙනාවා. ඒකට විරුද්ධ වුණා. හරියට right. Many people oppose that. ඇයි ඒකට oppose වුනේ? One thing. ඇයි ඒකට oppose වුනේ? Why people resist for fingerprint machine? Yes. Nishanta, why people resist for fingerprint machines? Yes. Who opposed that? Who opposed for fingerprint? Himali? Who opposed for fingerprint?
so I think the main reason is that you can't lie the machine, because the main reason, I guess, that fingerprint, you can't lie the machine. When you're manually doing it, you can do, there can be a lot of frauds. But with the machine, you can't do it. So that is one reason for resistance. I think another resistance is that maybe their unwillingness to go for a change because they are so
Why?
much
Why?
because they have been doing this sign-in and manually doing it for a very long period of time, so they don't want to go for a change.
Yes, now you are right, but you didn't mention the real reason for that. Emali?
Is it because
Niluka?
that they are mentally? Is it that?
Who oppose? Even in organization, who oppose? If I ask from you, your chairman use the fingerprint? Senior managers use fingerprint? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Those are the people who resist because of the status. Because of the status, right? Now, fingerprint, machine and status. So these are very serious. Now in universities, lecturers resist. Even medical field, doctors say no. No. So only finally that apply only for lower level. So that's a status problem. So likewise, there are so many unbelievable factors when you try to introduce some changes. There are a lot of unbelievable factors. Now this is introducing fingerprint became a finally status problem. Finally status problem. I have seen one organization in Sri Lanka, one organization, even chairman used the fingerprint. Even chairman used the fingerprint. I don't know any organization where you work, the chairman or the leader use the fingerprint machine. Am I right? Chanaka? Am I right? Sinivaratna?
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Himali?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's a status problem. So likewise, so therefore, a lot of education need, a lot of what you call psychological issues are there. So therefore, that aspect you have to handle. When you in OD, when you try to change something, status problem comes, right? Status problem comes. So you have to manage. So as I mentioned, I think last week, now role of gatekeeper. Then gatekeeper. Now I don't know. I think I asked the same question last week. Whether your chairman allow your gatekeeper to check his car. Nilu, yes, Himali, your chairman will allow your gatekeeper to check his car.
No, sir. I don't think that even the gatekeeper would go for that.
No, I know one organization, two organizations. Chairman get down when he come to the gate. He get down from the car. Then what do you call this gatekeeper open the dicky and check everything, right? So I was inside the car at that time. He's my friend. I asked, "Muko macam buti aman dia, macam chairman banget nih. Fingerprint check करवाना check करना that's right. So I must give the leadership for others. Now that's the way he talked about that when I asked him. So therefore, that's the charismatic leadership. That's the charismatic leader, right? good quality chairman. Chairman, car के बाहर. तो कुछ में gatekeeper car के check कर रहा हूँ. तो कुछ यार thank you क्यों यार ना अच्छा है. Now see, Himali.
Yes, sir.
So, so that's kind of change now. The very important change I have seen, I have heard one day when Obama is traveling in a train, the ticket checker has checked his ticket. Obama की Obama के ticket check कराया ठगड़ा दूंगा भी. ලංකාවේ මිල්ලුවනන් එහෙම ගෙදර යන්න වෙනවා. ඔක්කොම ජොබ් එකටත් මාරු කරලා. ලංකාවේ ලීඩර්ෂිප් එක එහෙම තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Right? ඔබාමා කිව්වා that is his duty කියලා. Right. So team building, conflict management are part of the OD leadership. Action research, employee involvement, consultation on processes, participatory management, job enrichment and job redesign. So leaders should guide people to do these things in the organization. Right? Then organizational learning, right? Ensuring information quality. So these are some now in Sri Lanka. It's another important thing. Information, quality of the information, data. Then මේ දවස්වල මම දැක්ක ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ලංකාව දියුණු වෙලු කියලා සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් එක කියනවා. World Bank, right? World Bank report says no. Sri Lanka is declining. Now, Central Bank report says Sri Lanka is developing. Now, which figures are correct figures? We don't know. So, therefore, as a leader, you must always ensure quality information. Quality information in your organization. So, ensuring information quality. Information-driven decision making. Don't go to ad hoc decisions. Always use information and take decision based on information. Right? Then information should be available for everybody. Right? So these are the leaders. Now, this is the way leaders should guide for changes. Information dissemination should be very open to everybody. Don't try to hide. Now, when you try to hide, generally people develop the suspicion. Right? That may make a foreign කරන්න වෙන එකක් අපිට කියන්නේ වෙන එකක්. So therefore information should be very open. Then you can reduce the resistance for change. Then data storage, right? And various things. So these are some important part of information side, because lack of information become a crucial aspect in resistance to change. So therefore information can do big job, right? If you manage information very clearly. For that purpose, leaders should give the full good guidance. Right, then dynamic role of leadership in organizational change. Right? Driver, enabler, changes, and output. Now, this is the role. He is the driver of change program. right? He should have some kind of skills. He should have a capacity to change. He should have capability to change, right? He should be able to handle the culture for change, right? Then you make some changes in strategies, structures, systems, and values. These are the area you are going to change. Then output is organizational change and achieving your goals. Leadership roles and responsibilities in change program. Seeing, visioning, strategizing, risking. Right? So now you can see not the normal role. These are different roles in change program. Now leader's role in change program is somewhat different. Right? Then planning, budgeting, organizing, staffing for the successful change program. So leader as a manager, you must ensure that planning is there, budgeting for change is there, organizational changes are there, and required people and other resources are there. So these are the things you should, as a leader, to ensure. Any questions about these charts? Yes? Any questions? No questions. Right. Then, when you start the changing program, you have to lead the process until the end of the program. Don't give up halfway. Right? Until implement the program, the leader should be there. He should guide people. Right? So managing change is a continuous and ongoing thing. So therefore need careful alignment between organizations and the leader's role. So the leader should proactive rather than reactive. Often people fall for trendy fads designed for quick fixes, a decreased awareness of what has worked in the past. So these are some kind of weaknesses in change program. So therefore, we should be proactive rather than reactive. What do you mean by proactive rather than reactive? What do you mean by proactive rather than reactive?
We should take prior actions to prevent future risks.
Yes, we should be able to forecast when we try to do this kind of changes. This can be happen. Therefore, you should be able to take action, plans before the things happen. So that's we call proactive rather than reactive. Then we come to characteristics of leader in change program. So one is moral and adhere to ethical standards. Now this is very, very valuable things. That means moral and adhere to ethical standards. Now in Sri Lanka, this is the missing part. People always suspect our leadership. People always suspect our leadership because they think leaders are not ethical. They are unethical. Then you can do your change program successfully. So therefore, when you do organizational changes, now you should behave as an ethical leader. So therefore, you must set ethical standards, right? It is very important. Then competent, you must show that you have capabilities to make the change effectively. Then knowledge, you must show that you are knowledgeable about the change program. Then open, as I told you, don't try to hide anything. Don't try to hide anything. So you should be able to answer any question asked by employees or public. You should be able to answer. Don't try to hide any information. Then you must concern about all aspects, not only one aspect. Right? People, environment, procedures, finance. So all aspects you should be able to concern. Then perceive as motivated by truth. Right? So other people should be able to believe that you always tell, you don't tell lie, right? People can depend on you. So that kind of situation as a leader, you should create there. Not having vested interest in change. So that means you can follow a paigal in. So as a leader, you should know what is happening in the ground level, what are their problems, what are the difficulties they face in change program. So everything you should know, right? So these are the good characteristics of a leader who try to introduce some changes. Any questions? Yes, any questions? No questions, huh? Right. 6 things to be aware of when leading change. First thing is, don't try to put anyone in difficult situation. That's why we call do no harm things. Don't harm, right? Don't do any harmful thing to anyone. So try to listen to everybody, try to minimize their problem, because as we discussed, whatever the change you are going to do, any change will affect everyone in some ways. ඕනම වෙනසක් හැමෝටම බලපානවා යම්කිසි විදියට. So always you must concern their problems. Then all change involve personal choice, right? So personal preferences are there. So you can't avoid that. Personal preference is always there. Then relationship between change and performance is not, that means instance. It is it should be a long-term process. දැන් අපේ තියෙන මම වෙනසක් කරලා ගියාට පස්සේ මම දන්නේ ඒවා අපි කරලා ඉවරනේ ඒවා අපි දන්නේ. No. You have to face the situation. So change and the outcomes are not sudden things. So it will take long period, right? So you must be concerned all these things. You must be responsible for all these issues. Then connect changes to business strategies. Then whatever the change you are going to do, it should be matched with your business strategies. Then involvement breeds commitment, right? So you must try to take employees' involvement as much as possible to this change program. If you can get the as a return commitment as a return from employees, they will give full support for the change program. Then any good change effort result in increased capacity to face change in the future. So you must prepare people to face the new changes. Now, because now we discussed people resist because of they don't have a required skills to face the changes. Therefore, as a leader, your task is, right, to improve their skills and knowledge to face the new changes, new environment, new situation. Yes, any questions? Any questions? Yes, Taranga? Any questions? No. Everything clear? Himali? Everything clear?
Yes, sir. No questions.
Right. Then when you take one by one, no harming. When issuing change, take holistic approach. Don't only look at one or two aspects. Think, right? Concentrate all aspects. Economic side, political side, cultural side, every side you must concern about when you try to introduce some changes. Be positive. Be positive. Often managers forget about the whole system or only change one facet of the business. So they normally, generally, they forget the whole system. They always concerned about one or two sections. So that's the one reason for the failure. That's the one some reason for some people get some harmful things. So therefore, always concerned about the holistic thing, system change. Every aspect you have to concern. Then all challenge involve personal choice means manager's main vision is the new organizational change. Off-site meeting arguing for new changes, communicate or formulate. So that means managers have some goal, employees have some goals, customers have some goals, owners have some goals. So whatever the things you are going to change, you always think about there are different, we call stakeholders. Different type of stakeholders are there. So they always look at your changes. They try to study your changes because they are going to affect. So that's why we call all change involve personal choices, right? So even department-wise, unit-wise, group-wise, so you have to think about different people, how they are going to affect, what they want. So that's why change is not a simple thing. It is a very, very difficult task, right? If we don't concern all these aspects, there may be very high resistance for that. So if you can concern all these groups, or we call all these stakeholders, then you can minimize the resistance. So therefore, study what these different people expect from these changes. What are the problems you can forecast, right? About these different groups. The relationship between change and performance. Now, we can't say always changes lead to high performance. No. Sometimes changes may lead to low performance. Even at the initial stage, there can be low performance. Why? People don't know about the new system. They can't adapt to the new system. They don't have required skills to adapt to the new system. So therefore, at the beginning, there can be low performance. So therefore, you have to forecast those things and assume therefore expecting this often creates clinical attitudes among employees. So you must give them a time to change, time to learn about the new situation, new procedures, and adapt to the new structure. So it will take some time. So you must, during that period, you must try to train people, create awareness, and if there are some requirement for changes, the new things, you must all you must prepare for that changes. Likewise, so performance can be for at the initial stage there can be some problems. So you have to face that issue. Connect the changes to business strategies. Change should only be pursued with a clear goal and have consistent communication. So throughout the period, this communication is very important. I can remember when this devolution process, devolution is a one important and big change in Sri Lanka. Devolution of power. මේ power revolution කරන්න කියලා තමයි යුද්ධිකුත් ඇති වුනේ. Right? So devolution of power is a very crucial one. I can remember those days. A lot of communication programs they conduct, right? Right, different kind of training program they conduct, and then awareness programs, because your change you should get people support as much as possible to your change program. Otherwise, there can be issues. So you must address to these issues, right? So that's why you can connect the change to business strategies, right? Have consistent communication. So employees connection between personal effort and the ultimate business goal. So now people may have a fear. They are going to lose their status. They are going to lose their job sometime. So therefore, you must communicate and ensure no. There won't be such kind of things, right? Your job will be secured. You will get more benefit through these changes. So likewise, you try to communicate throughout the period. Rooting the change structure or having poor communication create problems. So therefore, these are the areas you have to concern. So as a leader, always you must think about these aspects when you try to change, introduce some changes for the organization. Next one is involvement. So try to now when you try to introduce some changes from the beginning, you must have a very good record system, right? Communication system, information system to understand what is happening, what are the problem people face, right? So likewise, you must maintain good communication process and very good record system, right? Because you must learn, so always learn something from this change program, right? Sometimes there can be a lot of unexpected things. There can be a lot of unexpected things, right? So you have to think about all these things. Right, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. There is urgent call.
Sir, we can't hear, sir.
Now? Now you can hear? Now you can hear?
Yes, yes. Now we can hear,
Right.
sir. But we have thought before 2 to 3 minutes. We have not heard anything.
Yeah. Sorry. Which slide I have asked you to? Number 41 or 42? Right. Anyway, we'll try to discuss number 41.
Yes, this one, sir. This one. 40, sir.
41.
40,
So
sir.
now,
40.
yes, as I discussed, so when you do some changes, always try concern about the what you call record. Good, keep some records, because every change there can be a lot of unexpected things can be happen. So this is a learning process. So you should be able to learn about the change program. Then, if you have a good record and information system, you can take necessary action, quick action, to change something and face the situation. So therefore, during the change program, good record system is very important, right? So therefore, record information you have to maintain, and the understanding what is happening. But always you must be alert. As a leader, always you should be in alert about the change and try to learn what is happening in the field level. Then you always mention that, right? Now, because now we mentioned earlier, people have a fear about the change. They are going to lose their job. They are going to lose their benefit and various things. So therefore, you should be able to always convince them. No, as an organization also can get a lot of benefit from this change. Not only organization, as individual, as groups, you also can get a lot of benefit from this change. So that you have to communicate throughout the process, right? So that will help to continue the change program. So therefore, managing and leading change is a very crucial and important task. So therefore, in change program, people expect from leaders commitment. දැන් අපේ නම් කියන්නේ මම දන්නේ මම දන්නේ අපි කියන්නේ එහෙම නම්ද මොකක් කර වුණාම කියන්නේ මම දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. People expect from the commitment from the leader the change program. So what kind of commitment? Communication for trust and motivation. So always leaders should be able to build trust and motivate people toward the change. So that is through leaders' communication, right? Next one is persuade, engage, and drive change. So leaders should give the leadership, real leadership, necessary guidance, right? Now he should be able to motivate, encourage people who involve in change program, right? So those are very, very important as a leader during the change program period. Right? So there are a lot of reasons. Now, when you look at the past history of organizational change, there are many reasons for failures. So what are these reasons? lack of quantifiable long-term benefit. So that is one thing. So as I mentioned earlier, people expect a lot of benefit from this change program. But lack of quantifiable long-term benefit can be a issue, right? So what can be happen now? Suppose you have introduced changes, people don't feel that they are getting some kind of benefits. What can be happen? Yes, what can be happen? එහෙම වුණොත් මොකද වෙන්න පුළුවන්? Himali, what can be happen?
Ane, sir, I could not hear the last part.
Right. Niluka, what can be happen? If people feel that after you introduce the change program, now as we mentioned earlier, you must ensure and convey that to people, you will get a lot of benefits, right? Organization will get benefit. As a person, team, you will get benefit through this change program. Now, suppose after you introduce this program, sometime people may feel that they won't get any benefit. කියපු තරම් මොකුත් හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා හිතුනොත් එහෙම මිනිස්සුන්ට මොකද වෙන්න පුළුවන්? What can be happen? Himali, that's the question I asked.
Sir, are you expecting an answer from the employee side or the organizational side?
From the organization side.
Definitely the dissatisfaction of the employees will go up, and the amount of trust that they have kept on the organization might go down, because first they resisted, but somehow or the other they were willingly supporting the change, but it did not happen according to the way it was expected. So the dissatisfaction will go up, and the trustworthiness will go down. So I think it will lead to a lot of internal conflicts. But on the positive side, when this dissatisfaction goes up, sometimes different new approaches, new changes might also occur.
Yes, that means, Himali, people may try to go back to the old system. People may try to go back to the old system. Then you take the A level and O level. මොකද්ද මේ කරන්න කියලා මම බැලුවා අපි දැන් ආයි try කරනවා අර 1950 අර 60 ගණන් වල තිබිච්ච A level වලට යන්න. We try to do that. ඒ කාලෙත් තිබුණා විදිහට තමයි තිබුණේ. A level exam එක පාස් වුණාම ඕන කෙනෙකුට ඕන වෙලාවෙ යුනිවර්සිටි යන්න පුළුවන්. There is no scoring system. Anybody can go to any university at any time. ඒක තිබුණේ 1960 ගණන් වල තිබුණු පරණ එකක්. අපි ආයෙ එතනට යන්න try කරමු. Anyway, so it can be happen. People may try to go back to the old system. Then, as you mentioned, positive thing is then you can think about another change. If that is not successful, if they want to go back to the old system, then you can introduce another system. So that means the positive side, right? The lack of organization and learning, right? As we mentioned now, now even last slide I told you, this is a learning process. You must learn throughout this change program, right? If there is no lack of organizational learning, then your change program can be an ineffective one or failure. So therefore, always this learning part should be improved. Otherwise, there can be issues. Satisfaction with status quo. Now, as I mentioned earlier, status problems can be there. So therefore, you should be able to handle this status problem carefully. If that is not there, in long term, your change program can be a failure. What is a good example can you give? What is a good example you can give? Anyone? Good example is, if you can remember, provincial, we call provincial council. Now that's a big change, organizational development change, right? We introduce provincial council system and provincial administrative system. Now what has happened? It has become a white elephant. හරියට සල්ලි නාස්ති වෙනවා. Right? The people have gone back to the old system. Now confusion is there. Right? So the main problem is the status. Because when you gave the power to provincial council, now main people, right, they tend to think that they are losing their status. Therefore, what they did, they didn't give adequate power to district officers and provincial officers. Now, now, good example is the chief minister, minister, deputy minister, and provincial ministers. Now, provincial ministers are now powerless, no power. Everything now again centralized to the main minister and the deputy minister, not with the chief minister. Am I right? Chanaka? Chanaka has gone. Iranda, am I right? Nishanta? Nishanta, am I right? Seneviratna? Seneviratna?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So chief minister has no power now. Everything with the parliamentary minister. So our status problem was there. So if you cannot settle the status problem, your organizational change can be a failure. Next one is over-focused on tactical, isolated solution rather than the strategic solution. Right? When you think about small sections, then you will, if you forget the whole holistic approach, then it can be a reason for failure. Right? Next one is trying to do everything at once. Right? When you introduce some changes, the time is very important. You have to plan all changes according to some time plan. Don't try to implement all changes at once. all changes at once. It can be a failure. It can be a failure. So therefore, step by step, if you can implement the step by step, that will be the best way. Otherwise, it can be a reason for failure. Right? Then no accountability, lack of clear ownership. That also a problem for change. So the organizational change, lack of accountability, clear ownership. Who is going to take the responsibility? Right? So that is very, very clearly you must mention. Otherwise, there can be issues. Then tools unable to support process. That means necessary resources. If resources are not there, then your change OD program can be a failure. Then people are skilled enough to support process. If the people don't have the required skills to face the changes, then it can be a reason for failure. Therefore, you, after introducing your change program, you must always think about the people, employee skills. So you must have a lot of programs to improve their skills. Otherwise, it can be a reason for failure. Then no structured project management. So after now, you must do this change program in a very systematic way. As a project, you must do it. So if you don't have a good project planning, then your whole change can be a failure. So these are some reasons for failure of your change program. Any comments? Fatima? Chetani?
No comments.
Himali?
All
Nilu?
clear, sir. All clear.
All clear? Right. So leading the process of organizational change. Therefore, organizational change program, you must lead very careful, right? Right. So what are the checking points? First thing is make sure people involved see a clear advantage in the change, right? Make sure people involved see a clear advantage in the change. So as I told you earlier, if people don't feel that, right, there are advantages, then it can be a problem. So therefore, you must always check that. Make sure that people involved see a clear advantage in the change, right? Second factor, keep the changes as close as possible to existing values and experiences. That means now through any changes, there can be value change. So what do you mean by value change? Can anyone give example? Taking some change activity and value change, can anyone give any example? Right. From any organizational change, there can be a problem in values. Yes, anyone can give example for value change? Yes.
Sir,
Yes, Sarandar?
sir, if you introduce a new system and you transform from the previous system to the new system straight away, and if you negate the previous system and you adopt the new system, would cause for some shortfalls. Therefore, the change has to be done in the phase wise. It has to be phased
That's
out.
right. That's we discussed.
Then the first
So-
point, it is mentioned the checkpoint, that is the decisive point that you need to recognize, that is the phasing out of the process.
Yes.
Therefore, we
So
can
this value issue.
So if you devalue the previous system and you go completely to the new transformation, sometimes the new system, there won't be, sometimes the result would be sometimes ineffective. We don't know the exact, the result. Therefore, devaluing the previous system should not do, and we have to give some equal balance, equal importance, and have to strike a balance between these two models. That is what, sir.
Yes. Others, Himali, Niluka, Veerasinghe, any example? Can you give any example for value problems? We discussed status problem. Value problems? I'll tell you one example. Now, introducing internet and the modern technology. It's a good thing, no? It's a good thing or bad thing? Introducing new
thing.
technology to organization is a good thing or bad thing?
Good thing, sir.
Good thing. Right. Now, people use everything. For everything now, they have, they use what? Today, you use mobile phone. You use mobile phone, right? So for everything, now people use what? WhatsApp. People use WhatsApp. Even I have seen to invite some valuable conference discussion. You use the right. You open this we call internet. You introduce what you call groups, right? WhatsApp groups. Then you invite through WhatsApp group. Is there a value problem there? Himali, when you invite through WhatsApp group, is there a value problem? Niluka? Yes, Himali. Any value problem there?
Invite, in a sense, invite a new member to the group. I did not get that part.
Now that means now introducing new technology is good. Now, because of that, I have seen people open new. They have group. They right WhatsApp group, and for everything they use WhatsApp group. Even to invite important meeting and to communicate some important thing, they use WhatsApp group. Is it good or bad? Is that value problem?
Even though there's ample space and opportunities to invite or to add or do all these things, I think there should be a value system in that platform as well.
Yes. Now suppose somebody invite you to come for his wedding through WhatsApp. What are your reaction?
It depends how close that person is to me. If it's a very close friend of mine, I would definitely said yes. But if it is kind of a, if that should happen in a more official way, in a more, or maybe in a more ceremonial way, I would politely reject that invitation, because that's why I told you there is a value system, because we can't, even though that certain changes might be easier or more comfortable, but still there should be certain restrictions and values.
Yes.
One thing we did now, I come from an educational background, so we have WhatsApp groups for each and every class. But what I have strictly requested from the teachers is that not to share any messages after 6 o'clock in the class groups, because parents also have their personal lives, and once they come back home, they should give more priority to the housework and the children. So teachers send in text messages 24 hours and asking the parents to read and react towards it all the time it's not ethical. So, and vice versa, I have asked the parents also not to trouble the teachers late at night, forwarding their requests and other things. So even though the changes are there to make our lives easier, not to make it more difficult. So yes,
Yeah.
values should be protected.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, Saranda.
yeah, as Himali mentioned, sir, that there's a, as what we have learned earlier was there was a concept that moral and ethical concerns, right? As you brought out an example, to invite somebody to for a wedding. So initially you have the technology, the change is there, the speed, the accurate, the speed, and everything is achieved. Efficiency is all achieved, but when it comes to the ethical and moral concern, of course, there's a process that we need to adapt as per our culture and traditions. So at least you have to make a call and say what is the possible way that I can reach you to give the invitation, so that the counterpart, of course, will comply, favorably, saying that okay, if you have anything. To reach this point, sir, what we have discussed.
Niruka? Any comments, Niruka? So one person saw me. He has been invited. Our wedding card now. It's been through WhatsApp. They have sent a wedding card. Now he's showing. Okay, Machan. Now they have invited me, right? Putting the invitation card to WhatsApp. What is now? He's highly frustrated. So now changes are good. Changes are good. You can efficiency. You can save time. You can save cost, and various things are there, right? But you have to think about the values, right? So values can be a problem. So anyway, keep the changes as close as possible to existing values and experiences. Right? Otherwise, it can be a issue, can be a problem. Then make the changes as easy as possible to understand and use. Understand and use. Then may the answer the internet පාවිච්චි කරනවා දැන් ගොඩාක් ළමයිට මේ A level application දාගන්න බැරි වෙලා තියෙනවා මේ internet නැති හින්දා. Right? No internet facilities. They don't know how to use the internet. So therefore complications are there. So right, therefore make the change as easy as possible to understand and use. Right? So that is very important. Then allow people to try the change step by step. That's the thing I think Aranda mentioned. Yeah, Aranda, somebody discussed that. Allow people to try the change step by step, making the adjustment as they go. So don't ask people to adapt to the change at once. No, it is impossible. It is difficult. Therefore, you must give them a chance. Give them some time to adjust. Until that time, don't punish people. Don't punish people. Right? So you must have some kind of other positive method. Right? Appreciate them and encourage to adjust rather than the punishing people. So likewise, the process allow the people to try the change step by step, to understand, making adjustment as they go. So that is very important. Then change leaders' tasks, create a felt need for change, right? So now here the issue is, although at the beginning leader can give the leadership, but don't keep the leadership throughout the process. So you can empower the lower level people to carry out the change program. Don't try to keep the power always with you, right? You can empower the lower level people to carry out the change. So then it will be a successful one. Otherwise, there can be issues. There can be issues, right? Questions? Yes, questions? Any questions regarding this slide? This is very important. It's a very good area to ask a question even.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, it's a common question, sir. Not regarding this, with regard to this lecture, sir. Now the scope of HRD is little extensive. So, do you have any concern areas of targeted areas for the final examination, sir?
Yes. Now I have given some hints. So now, just now I gave some hints.
Sir, likewise the similar hints.
Yes. Now next week is the last week, right? So what can we do? If you want, we can discuss the past paper. If you want, what is your response to that?
Sir, we can do a change. We can change the system and discuss the paper that you have already prepared, sir.
Yes. Last year paper, yes. Last year papers we can discuss. So shall I discuss with the MHRM whether we can use the last week for the discussion of the last previous papers? So do you have the papers?
Yes, that would be
better, sir.
that would be highly yes, sir.
So this way, what can we do? I can't now. I can discuss the paper, but issue is my suggestion is you must find the papers, past papers, at least. Now this is 2014, no? 2013 and 2012 papers, and go through And in very brief, you can, as a point, you can write, right, for this question, these are the points. For this question, these are the points. So you can come with that and have a discussion with me without expecting the whole answer from me. You can come with some kind of preparation. Is it good?
Sir, the focus area, if you go through the past question papers,
Yes.
so we can generally understand the areas that you have questioned.
Yeah.
Is that the similar pattern that you are asking, or any you are
Yes,
going to drastic changes?
normally similar. There may be one or two changes. Otherwise, similar pattern. But questions can be vary.
Okay.
Question can be different, but area can be same.
As
Area
far as
can be same.
sir, even as far as the scope is concerned, so you have not gone for a vast scope, but you have gone for major areas like individual development, organizational development, career development. Likewise, you have focused some areas.
Yes.
Is
That's
that
why.
the
That's why
similar
you have to
pattern?
go. That's why you have to go through the past paper and see what is the pattern. What is the pattern? Have I discussed the same area in every year, or have I changed the areas? So if I have given the individual and group last 2 years, then you can predict the organization one next year.
One last
Like,
question, sir.
One
last question, sir.
Yeah.
Are you going to do a dramatic change in the question paper, sir?
No. I'm not going to do some radical changes. No, that is unfair. I think that is unfair. Therefore, normally because there are some people who repeat the exam also. So that may be unfair for those people.
Yes.
So therefore, the same pattern will be there. Only thing is the questions can be very different, and sometimes the focus area also can be changed. But the topics can be same. Topic can be same very often, but the focus area can be changed. For an example, you definitely you will get one question from leadership for change. You get one question, but as Iranda asked, what's the area? Whether it is the reason for failure, or whether it is about the what are the steps of change program or something like that. So there can be differences. So you have to go through the previous papers. Then you can get some understanding. What is the pattern? Sometimes same question may ask in different form. Same question, different form. Likewise, so first you go through the question paper, then we can have a discussion next week. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sir, a
Fine.
small suggestion.
Yeah.
Sir, next week, will you be able to discuss some of the targeted areas so that it would be...
Same question as Iranda's.
Yeah, Erand is asking, she's going around the bush. So I directly ask it.
Sir, could
Yes.
you please discuss the last question paper next time, sir? Because we didn't receive the question paper, sir, 2023. I don't know whether colleagues have got, but we received only 2000, the year 2000 question, 2020, 2021, and 2022, sir.
Like now we have 3 papers. Now we can go through and see
We
the
can-
pattern, understand some kind of and forecast. This is the way. Therefore, we can forecast next time this kind of question. That also a skill. Anyway, right? We'll discuss. We'll reserve next week for the discussion of past papers, right?
Yes, sir. Better, sir.
So we have 3 hours.
Another lecture.
So,
Better we are not going for other lectures, sir.
yeah, no, that's right. So this can be a discussion, but you must come with the preparation. That's why I asked. Then only we can discuss. So you come with the preparation.
Yes.
You can come with the answers for some question in a very brief. Then we can discuss. Okay. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Fine. Fine, sir.
Yes.
So once request, sir. So can
Yes,
we share
yes.
the last year paper, sir, since we didn't receive it?
Yes, I'll ask who is the coordinator of the subject now. Not. Yes, I'll ask her to share. I'll ask her to share last year paper, right? What do you call Ruvini? So I asked Ruvini to share paper. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
She had some papers, but sir, the previous course number 12 one is not shared, sir. Even any subject we didn't receive that the last course papers. That's the
Right,
problem.
right. I'll ask. Sometimes that is in LMS papers. Last year papers can be you can find from there.
No,
Anyway,
Sir,
not there, sir.
not there. Right.
not there.
Okay then. If there are no questions, we'll meet next week. Right? Okay, thank you very
Yes, sir.
much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.